go ahead and get started. Shalom and good morning to all of my current listeners and viewers, and to everyone that will catch the replays. I am Beverly Campbell. I'm so fascinated around words. I created this space for like minded people to share words they've created to inspire, make people think, laugh, and enjoy life. Adjust your fascinators, grab your tea, and enjoy. I'm an activist, author, and catalyst for self advocacy. I currently have an ebook available at my website, liferestyle.bigcartel.com. That will be streaming here on the YouTube side. I've also shared the link on the Clubhouse side as well. That's liferestyle.bigcartel.com. And the ebook is titled Resist, Rescue, Rest, Life Support for the Soul. It's a tiny guide to big freedom and guilt-free rejuvenation, because many of us rest, but we do it with guilt. We do it feeling like we've done something wrong, like a toddler being tapped on the hand. So it's not about just resting. You want to be able to rest, and you want to be free from guilt for doing so. So the Life Restyle link, like I said, will be posted periodically during the broadcast here on the YouTube side, and the link is posted on the Clubhouse side. Also, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube, BCampbellHer. And today on Parties by Bev, I will be reading excerpts from my ebook and discussing why we wrestle with rest. Is rest a no for you? Are you ashamed to rest? Have you let the stigma attached to rest make you run on empty before you take a break? Do you tussle with taking care of yourself? Okay, so a lot of that is addressed in my ebook, and the catalyst that birthed my ebook, because it really stemmed from not only being an empath and a person that not only cares but actively care, and also in raising my children. I did a lot, and I did a lot outside of the home as well as inside of the home, as well as holding down a job, which is nothing new. A lot of us do it. Hooray to us. This is a Women's History Month. And so I applaud all of you women that are doing the same things that I did. And I want you to clap for yourself. And then this would be a good time to pour yourself a cup, take a sip, and just applaud for yourself, because there's nothing wrong with that. You're doing a lot, and so you deserve it. This is where we take a break. And I thank you again thank you, Miss Paulette, for joining over on the Clubhouse side. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having an amazing day. And I'll go through the things that I stated a little earlier. And thank you for joining again, Miss Paulette, on the Clubhouse side. And so I am Beverly Campbell. Shalom and good morning. And I thank you, Ms. Paulette, for joining me, as well as the listeners and viewers on the YouTube side, anybody that will come and listen to the replay. And so again, I am Beverly Campbell, and I'm so fascinated around words. I created this space for like-minded people. Thank you, Dr. Tachi, for joining to share words they've created to inspire, to make people laugh, enjoy life, and to think. Adjust your fascinators if you have one on, grab your tea. This would be a good time to go ahead and pour yourself a cup. I'm an activist, author, and catalyst for self-advocacy. I currently have the ebook that I mentioned earlier. I did pin the link to the top on the Clubhouse side. It's also running on the YouTube side. And that's Resist, Rescue, Rest, Life Support for the Soul. It's a tiny guide to big freedom. And so today, I'll just be reading some excerpts from the book and then also discussing why we wrestle with rest. Is rest a no for you? Are you ashamed to rest? And if any of this is hitting home, you can, comment. If you also would like to come up, feel free to do so on the Clubhouse side. Have you let the stigma also attached to rest make you run on empty before you even take a break? We do a lot. This is Women's History Month and men as well, but this is since it's Women's History Month, I also wanted to address this because we do a lot, and whatever it is you're assigned to do, run with your vision, but just remember to do and get rest, because no one can do anything well running on fumes. And so also, do you tussle with taking care of yourself? And so I'll just read. Did any of you ladies want to come up? If so, let me see. Just, let me know. Alrighty, and I see your website, Ms. Paulette. I'll be sure to mention that for you as well. Good morning. Yes, good afternoon. Let's see. Can you mute your mic for me, or did you have something you want to say? Oh, okay. So I'll read the insert and then we'll go from there. The excerpt. Let's see. I'm trying to go. What did I do? I mixed up my links. Okay, so there we go. All right, so rest, to cease work or movement, to relax, refresh oneself, or recover strength. Let me move this over. Okay, so we activists risk life, limb, and income to make the world a better place. I especially applaud those who fight to make life more equitable for melanated people. Many nonprofits have to sing and dance for grants and donations, all while running on fumes. It took the world being affected by a global pandemic for many of our eyes to be opened. Workers who have been underpaid since inception finally being seen as essential. And I believe we're kind of going back to the way it was before when it comes to people really being deemed essential, but that's neither here nor there. I'll keep reading. Arrest for some meant being seen as not being down for the cause. And so a lot of activists that just really was ready to pass on the baton this isn't in the ebook. This is me putting in a little something, but a lot of activists that were really just ready to pass on the baton and not march and do certain things until their very last breath actually took breaks. And so when many people did that, they were seen as not being down for the cause. So no one can march, sing, change policy, or accumulate wealth from the grave. Health is for the living, not the dead. Okay? So, did you have anything you wanted to add, Miss Paulette? So, I really wanted to discuss just the stigma behind resting, because we're told to stay in the rat race, stay on the hamster wheel, and when you rest, it's as if you've done something wrong. There's a stigma behind it. And some of us, I'm a little older than I used to be, and so some of us never actually took rest until now that we're well in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and thank God, we made the choice to do so. But there's some people that left here um, without even getting any rest. And I applaud. We recently did the Selma reenactment again, and I'm was so honored to see a lot of our soldiers and elders in the fight for voting rights, still going. But I pray someday, before it's over for them, that they would actually get rest and the baton will be passed on to the younger generation as well. Um, and I do also believe in bridging the gap. So I just, it just was wonderful to see a lot of our seasoned elders out there. But then again, I was like, gosh, I really hope that they will take a break, because you can see that some of them just don't want to give up. And I really do believe that it's because of the stigma behind resting. You're seen as not doing your part, or somehow that you gave up. So if you feel anything about that, you're more than welcome.
Can you hear the background noise on here?
No.
Can you hear the background noise on here?
I don't hear it. I don't hear any.
Oh, okay, great. Then I can talk. I need someone to come turn the sound down. That's why I was anxious before. So let me tell you, yeah, I agree with that. And you know what? I think during my later years, I've always heard people always say, you can rest when you go to your break. While you're here, you need to work and make as much money as you can. And that's all good. But you can work yourself to a point where your health gets affected and you don't go to your grave right away, but you're limited in what you can do. So I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying about regret.
Yes, then.
And I pass the mic back to you.
Thank you for saying that. And have you ever had any stigma around resting at all? because I know generations before us, we were really given the title, even as, Black people, African American, the Kebulans children, were giving the stigma of being lazy. And so I feel as Black people too, that has a lot to do with why a lot of times we don't take the rest that we need for fear of being either seen as lazy or, as
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, and through the generations and through my years. But I know that when you do get into a position, you're going to work 2 or 3 times as hard, 3 or 4 times as hard as with anyone else. Not for the chance and advancement or more opportunities, but to be able to keep the jobs that we have. So, yeah, I've heard that, but it's not, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it to be any truer in our race than in any other race. Because as I've worked in corporations, the managers and the people that were at the top of the chain, you could always hear about them traveling and being on vacation and doing different things to enjoy their lives. But the worker bees, the ones at the bottom, were there keeping the business going. So, yeah, it's been a stigma, but in my own life, yeah, I worked really hard. And then as I got older, and maybe after I retired, I realized that I had worked so hard for other people. I had never given any thought about working hard for myself. And even now, though, I do take time to rest. And I just recommend that for everybody. Take some time to let your body rest, because if you don't, it's not going to be there for you in the long run.
Thank you for sharing that as well. And I honor and applaud you for taking the time to get rest. And so what I'm discussing today is why we wrestle with rest. And I have a few questions. Is rest a no for you? Are you, is, and I don't want to imply that going hard for your assignment and the vision that you've been called to do in the earth to add value to humanity is something wrong, but just is rest a no for you? Are you ashamed to rest? Have you let the stigma attached to rest make you run on empty before you take a break? And do you tussle with taking care of yourself? So thank you for sharing, Paulette. And I also want to share Miss Paulette's link, and that's Amazon.com Kindle Vella. That's /story. And let's see. I can copy that for you. Hey, Miss Ann, thank you for joining. And so what the questions being asked right now is why we wrestle, well, discussing why we wrestle with rest. Is rest a no for you? Are you ashamed to rest? Have you let the stigma attached to rest make you run on empty before you take a break? And do you tussle with taking care of yourself? Those are the questions. If you would like to come up, Ann, thanks again for joining. You're more than welcome to do that. Let me. And for anybody that want to go ahead and pick up Miss Paulette's book, I have shared the link on the On the Clubhouse side, you're more than welcome to grab that her new book in Kindle Vella. Would you like to add a little something about your book, Miss Paulette?
I love to. This is my first book. It's about Black female doctors. Black female doctors in the United States, it's such a low percentage of the total doctors in the medical field, less than 3%. And in my family, I have 4 doctors, female doctors, in different specialties. And when the COVID conversation came out, and we began to see Black doctors being used as experts on the different cable and news shows, I knew it was time to really release my book. And I've been wrestling with it for about 5 years, whether or not to publish it. So when the opportunity came with Amazon's Kindle Vella to release books in episodes, I decided that I would give it a try. And it's been a big confidence booster for me. And I've been able to, it's a fiction book, but still been able to introduce 3 women who are doctors in some of the things that happen in their daily lives. So I encourage people to pick it up and read it, and I'd be interested in their reviews and how they feel about it. And maybe in one of your future parties, I'd be able to share an excerpt. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to talk about it.
Thank you so much for sharing that and joining me here on Potties by Bev today, Miss Paulette. And I would be more than happy to set that up for next month and have you do that. Thank you so much. And can you share the title of the book for the people on the YouTube side?
Sure. It's Magic Hands, Sisters in Medicine. And it's an Amazon Kindle Vella book. You can go to Amazon and type in my name, and the book will come up with some other books that I've collaborated in. So just go to Amazon, and when the category box or the search box shows up, just type in my name, Paulette Nunley. That's Nunley with an N like in Nancy. And Magic Hands, Sisters in Medicine will show up in the search. Since it's a recent book, it will show up in the top of the search. And I appreciate anybody in the audience giving trying that and giving it a chance. It's the first 3 episodes are free, and then you receive free tokens to read a few more episodes. So I look forward to talking to you more about my book in a future room here. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks again for joining. And like I said, I will be more than happy to set that up for next month. And let me. Thanks again for everybody that joined today. On Parties by Bev, just talking about why we wrestle with rest. And again, that link is to the top if you want to order that ebook, Resist, Rescue, Rest, Life Support for the Soul. It's a tiny guide to big freedom. I read the excerpt from the book. So for everyone that's here, thank you for joining in. Dr. Tachi, Miss Paulette. For anybody that'll come and listen to the replays, answer these questions for yourself, and just sit down. And if you feel like you've been neglecting yourself in the area of rest, just get down to the bottom of why you wrestle, why we wrestle with rest. Is rest a no for you? Make that a yes. Are you ashamed to rest? And have you let the stigma attached to rest make you run on empty before you take a break? And do you tussle with taking care of yourself? And so I know even when I was raising my kids, being a grandmother as well, I had to, you just have to do things for yourself. And in activism, I remember times when I was just ready to rest and take a break. It was seen as if you're giving up for the cause. But you can't, like I said, you can't rest in the grave. And so anytime you feel like you need to take a break and take care of yourself, do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't feel obligated to anybody more than you're obligated to yourself. And so if no one has anything else to say, I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast of Parties by Bev. The link is on the Clubhouse side for if you want to order the ebook, Resist, Rescue, Rest, Life Support for the Soul. I believe I also, yes, I have the link on the YouTube side as well. Be sure to pick that book up. Remember Miss Paulette's book. She'll be reading an excerpt on one of our future broadcasts. Thank you so much for everyone that listened. Thank you so much for everyone that will join on the replays. And be sure to leave your comments because I'm not sure if I updated everything on the Clubhouse side, but I heard that even once the broadcast ends, that you'll be able to like add your comments and things like that. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I am Beverly Campbell signing off, but never out. Have an amazing day. And remember to at least take 5 for yourself. Have an amazing day. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining.